My name is Corey Elizabeth, and I'm the Corporate Brand Specialist here at J. Beverly Hills. Today, I'd like to take the opportunity to talk to you about our revolutionary Smooth Realignment System. The J. Beverly Hills Smooth Realignment System is an amazing addition to our professional catalog because it really just ensures that we are always putting that hairdresser first and putting that professional salon industry first. So we really want to make sure that not only do our clients have the best possible hair, but that also this is something that's safe for the hairdressers to use and safe to be used on any of our clients. So we have made sure that this formula is 100% formaldehyde free. We'll get into what those active ingredient technology is in just a second. But this is an amazing product to create that smoother, straighter hair texture without compromising your health or your lung function or the health of your clients. This is actually targeting those cysteine bonds instead of messing with any of your disulfide bonds. So as well as making sure that this is a safe product, we are also putting the integrity of your hair first. And we'll get a little bit more into those bonds in just a second. But like everything else in the J. Beverly Hills line, it's also botanically infused to make sure that we are always promoting the health of our hair, the integrity of our hair, as well as the health of our skin and our scalp and our bodies. So we'll get more into that botanical story in just a second. Another amazing aspect that makes this a very powerful tool for hairdressers and the professional salon industry is the fact that this line can be used in the same day as color, meaning that you can do your high lift tint, your gray coverage, your highlights, whatever it may be, at the same time as your texturizing services. So your client doesn't have to keep coming back, and it really just allows you to up your ticket and make your schedule a little bit more busy in one day. And so not only have we put the hairdresser first, but we're also putting the experience of the client first so that they don't have to, like I said, keep coming back all the time and getting their services done at separate times. But on top of that, we've also ensured that this product is going to give you maximum longevity. So unlike those other temporary semi-permanent type smoothing systems, the J. Beverly Hills Smooth Realignment System will last up to 5 months. So it's really great to know that not only are you going to be cutting down on the blow drying time, cutting down on the frizz and making your hair overall more manageable, but that this is a process that's going to last in your hair and really be worth it and change the actual styling ability of your life. So let's get into how the Smooth Realignment System actively does that for us. The first part that I think is really powerful about the actual realignment solution itself is the ingredient technology. So as I said, this is a 100% formaldehyde-free formulation. So instead of having that as our active smoothing agent and preservative, we have actually incorporated glyoxylic acid into our formulation, which this is an organic colorless compound that just is used in pharmaceuticals such as amoxicillin, and the J. Beverly Hills chemists found this chemical to be extremely effective when softening those cysteine bonds, and it just makes it a really excellent substitute for those formaldehyde preservatives that can be so bad for us. In addition to that glyoxylic acid, we have also incorporated guar hydroxypropyltrimonium chloride, which this is actually an ammonia derivative, and it functions as our formula's alkalizer. So our J. Beverly Hills chemists have utilized the guar hydroxypropyltrimonium chloride to create not only a more effective smoothing solution, but also to aid in that superior conditioning and the overall texture and integrity of your hair. And on top of that, we have also incorporated Sericin into our formulation, which Sericin is actually produced during the silkworm silk creation process. And this is a protein that they create. So we know from our other J. Beverly Hills J Platinum lines that silk protein actually has the ability to maintain 10,000 times its weight in moisture. So this is a really excellent compound that the J. Beverly Hills chemists have utilized to just enhance and rejuvenate the hair, and it also has the ability to rebuild that hair fiber. So it really just totally puts the icing on the cake when it comes to that ingredient technology. So we have our glyoxylic acid, which is our active smoothing agent. We have our guar hydroxypropyltrimonium, which is our natural alkalizer. And then we have that Sericin to really rebuild that hair fiber and add extra moisture and hydration during the smoothing process. So like I said, this wouldn't be a J. Beverly Hills product if it wasn't actively infused with those natural botanicals. So just to name some of them, the Smooth Realignment System is infused with elderflower, which elderflower has been used for centuries for hair loss prevention. It's also a natural antifungal and antibacterial, so it's really going to aid in giving you that healthy hair and that healthy scalp. We also have cherry bark in our formula, which cherry bark is used to calm the cuticle and really leave that hair feeling smooth and shiny. But a really important aspect about having cherry bark in our formulation is that it actually is going to aid in that respiratory and that throat health. So not only are we not endangering any of that by not including formaldehyde in our process, but we've also made sure to take it a step further and add those active botanicals that actually promote healthy respiratory systems and lung health. So I think that's really cool. We also have chamomile, which is designed to stimulate new hair growth, heal the scalp, and really just calm and prevent split ends. We have comfrey, which is an anti-inflammatory that again has those natural healing properties, that's vitamin rich, and it's going to aid in cell repair. We also have black walnut, which is very antioxidant rich, heals cuticle damage. And then this other cool botanical that we have is natural henna. So it doesn't have anything to do with pigment or any of the henna hair color that we're used to hearing about. This is actually used as a bonding agent to provide that extended longevity and seal the cuticle. So we all know that henna color pretty much lives and lasts in the hair until it grows out, and it just makes that permanent bonding to the hair and that color molecule. So if we can really just think about a clear henna molecule being added to our smooth realignment system and how long it has the capability of lasting, that really just ensures that your client's going to be happy with this process from start to finish, and even 4 and 5 months down the road. So those active botanicals work really, really well with our ingredient technology to just ensure that your hair is in the best possible shape that it can be, as well as for the longest possible time that it can be. So we have really intentionally formulated this system in order to put our hairdressers and our clients first. So I think that's really awesome. So as we get into smoothing, I think it's really important to understand not only what's in the product, but what's actually happening inside the hair during that smoothing process. Like, what is the mechanism of action behind the smooth realignment system? So when we talk about our hair texture and our hair structure, there are 3 types of bonds that contribute to both of those things. The first one is going to be our hydrogen bond. So this is a physical bond that lives on the outside of your hair and just underneath the cuticle. And what this bond does is it really determines the shape of your hair. So whether it's smooth, curly, voluminous, etc. So our hydrogen bonds, those can be manipulated by heat and water, meaning that if you wash your hair, it's going to reset that hydrogen bond, or if you curl your hair over your blow dry, it's going to reset that hydrogen bond into a different shape. So that's our first type of bond. The second type of bond we have is our disulfide bonds. Now our disulfide bonds are what connect the hair shaft across the diameter. So that's where a lot of our protein lives, that's where a lot of our color lives, and that really creates the majority of the structure of our hair is our disulfide bonds. Now, when you have our hydrogen bonds, which are basically up and down vertical lines on the outside of our hair, and our disulfide bonds are horizontal lines that are perpendicular to our hydrogen bonds, creating a ladder type shape, going up and down and across. And what holds those disulfide bonds to those hydrogen bonds are going to be your cysteine bonds. So your cysteine bonds are really what work together with your disulfide bonds to determine the shape of your hair. So if you can imagine a traditional ladder with those straight across rungs, that's what a straight hair shaft is going to be like. That's what those disulfide bonds and those cysteine bonds are arranged in that pattern to create a straight hair structure. So now when we have curly hair, if you can imagine those horizontal perpendicular bars or rungs in the ladder, those are not going to be straight lines anymore. Those are going to be diagonal lines going across from your connected with your cysteine bonds throughout the hair shaft. So that's what curly hair looks like. Curly hair has that Z, that diagonal, that zigzag, whereas straight hair just has those straight across rungs. So when we're using our smooth realignment system and during its processing time, which we'll get into, it actually is softening those cysteine bonds and allowing those disulfide bonds to move around. And then during our blow drying and our flat ironing process, that's when we're actually physically telling those disulfide bonds where we want them to be, what shape we want the hair to be. So as we go through and flat iron, then we actually seal those cysteine bonds back into place and seal that disulfide bond into place. And over time, in that 4 to 5, maybe even 6 month period, those cysteine bonds soften and those disulfide bonds start sliding back into place. So that's exactly what's happening inside the hair shaft during the processing solution to leave us with that smoother, straighter end result. And if you have any questions in regards to that type of science, please feel free to reach out and I would love to handle that with you one-on-one or anything that you need. So that's a really important factor, is knowing how the product is working in the hair. So before we even get into the application of our smooth realignment system, it's very important to have a thorough consultation with our clients regarding their end result. A couple things that are going to help us know exactly how to apply and how to manipulate this process is going to work in your consultation. So the first thing that we need to determine is the overall density of the hair. The density of the hair is like our thickness, how many strands of hair on our head do we have? And so that's really important because that's going to affect how much product you're going to use, how large your sections are, and how aggressive you need to be during the process. Another thing that contributes to our overall end result is determining what our natural curl pattern or our natural texture is. So once we figure that out, that's really the key to determining what temperature our iron's going to be at, how many passes we're going to do, and how large of sections we're going to take. So I like to use the categories of 1 being straight hair and then 4, A, B, and C being like the kinkiest curly hair types. So depending on how tight your curl is, that's going to determine how long you're going to let this process for and how many passes you're going to go through with your flat iron. Another thing when you're talking about their natural curl texture and their natural curl pattern, you need to determine the natural end result that they want. So do they want their hair to just be frizz-free and still have some body and wave, or do they want their hair to be as smooth and straight as possible? So that's really also going to determine how we use this product as well. And lastly, but definitely not least, we are going to take into consideration the overall health of the hair. So this is really important because if your hair is already previously sensitized or very damaged, your hairdresser needs to be able to know to use a lower temperature and less passes through. And also just make sure that we're following up with the proper aftercare, which we'll get into in just a second. So density, natural curl pattern, desired end result, and overall health of the hair are really going to help you determine exactly how to approach your J. Beverly Hills smoothing system. So a couple things that we will always need for our smoothing system is going to be our professional blow dryer, a professional flat iron, non-metallic color bowl and clips, a natural bore bristle brush, a flat brush, and then a fine tooth comb. We have one, it's called our C101 fine tooth comb at J. Beverly Hills, which is also ceramic and it's not going to melt in any type of flat ironing or heating temperatures. So that's really important to have. And then of course we always want to have a chemical cape when we're doing things like this, just to protect our client. as we go through and we're ready to apply, we've done our consultation with our client. We know exactly what type of hair they have and what they want to end up with. Now it's time to actually apply the product. So the first step in our smoothing realignment system is going to be using our clarifier shampoo. So our clarifier shampoo is designed to lift off any deposits and really just aid in opening that cuticle before we even start the process. So whenever you begin that clarifying shampoo prior to a chemical service, you always want to make sure that you're very thorough. So you want to take your time and shampoo the hair for approximately 2 to 3 minutes, maybe even shampoo twice. But when you're doing this shampoo service, you want to make sure that you're staying off the scalp and focusing mostly on the hair, and then that way your client won't have any adverse reaction because their scalp has been roughed up or anything like that. So always just focus on washing the hair during the clarifying process. After we've done that, we're going to bring our clients back to the chair from the shampoo bowl, and we're going to towel dry them very well. So this is the opportunity for you to remove any of that excess moisture and leave the hair approximately 70% dry. So after you've done that, and you want to make sure there's no drips, anything like that, you want to go through and you want to apply your hair product. So you're going to take your smoothing realignment system with a color brush and a fine-tooth comb, and you're going to apply this in what I recommend as approximately 3/4 inch sections. So if the hair is more dense or it happens to have a more overly curly hair texture, it's smart to maybe take some smaller sections so you can really work within that desired end result with that natural curl pattern. So you want to apply this product root through end, and you want to comb through each section after applying the product. If you are having a lot of product come off on your comb afterwards, like white product on your comb, then you are using too much product, and it's important to go back through and like rework in some sections just to make sure that you have a nice even distribution. After you have applied this product throughout the entire head, now you're going to take your processing time. So your processing time is going to be a minimum of 30 minutes. For that's less curly hair, the more frizzy, wavy textures, 30-minute is an appropriate processing time. If you have overly coarse hair or overly curly hair, or you're somebody that wants a straighter end result, you can process this product up to 40 minutes. So as long as you get that minimum processing time of 30 minutes, that's the most important part. I think this processing time is also a really cool aspect of the smooth realignment system because it allows you to maybe fit in another client during the processing. So you could maybe do a retouch, you can maybe do a toner, or even a haircut depending on how fast you work. So it really allows you to book your schedule up a little differently as opposed to having a whole entire block off where you're not available. So that 30-minute processing time is really important in multiple aspects. After we have completed that entire 30 to 40 minute processing time, now we're going to take our clients back to the bowl and do a quick 10 to 15 second rinse. The reason we do this is just to lift off and remove any of that excess product that didn't absorb right into the hair shaft. It also is going to contribute to the ease of our blow drying at the end and our flat ironing because there won't be any fumes or smoke coming off of the hair from product burn off. So that 10 to 15 second rinse is also very important for making sure that your client feels clean at the end of the service. Now, after we have applied our product, processed it for 30 to 40 minutes, and done that very vital 10 to 15 second rinse, we're going to take our client back to the shampoo bowl. So this is what I prefer as the most important part of our smooth realignment system is going to be the blow dry. The blow dry is when we are telling that disulfide bond and that cysteine bond what shape we want the hair to be in. So this is where we're actually manipulating that shape and that texture of the hair. Because during that processing time, that 30-minute processing time, that's when that glyoxylic acid has really worked with that guar hydroxypropyltrimonium chloride to soften those cysteine bonds and release those disulfide bonds from the shape that they're previously in. So during that blow drying process, that's when we're actually reforming the hair into those smoother, straighter disulfide lines. So it's very important if you are wanting a more voluminous end result, something that just gets rid of your frizz, you can blow dry with a flat brush. If you are looking for something that's going to be smoother and straighter, then that's the time that you want to use that natural boar bristle brush to really give you that tension. And again, depending on how smooth you want this hair to be, will determine how thick your blow drying sections are. So just think the smoother and straighter, smaller sections. If you want more body and if you want more bounce to the hair, you can use bigger sections with maybe even a flat brush. And another thing that makes the blow dry so important to the smooth realignment system is that this is your opportunity to remove 100% of the moisture from the hair. If you, for instance, don't remove 100% of that moisture, when you move to the next step of the flat ironing process, you're actually going to seal in the moisture inside the hair shaft. And what sealing that moisture into the hair shaft does is it actually gives the effect of water mildewing in your hair. So you really want to make sure that you're removing 100% of that moisture so that you don't get any adverse smells or anything like that when you move on to your flat ironing process. So after we have either flat wrapped or boar bristle round brushed our hair to 100% dry, we are going to move on to our flat ironing portion. The flat ironing portion is when we actually, activate that natural henna, and we use that Saracen to just condition and bond those disulfide bonds into place and seal those little cystine beads into place and give us that real longevity for the smoothing system. So again, as I mentioned prior, during the consultation process, it's really important to know the health of the client's hair when you move into the flat ironing portion, because if the hair is very damaged or sensitized, you want to use a lower heat. If it's something that's coarse or overly curly or very healthy, you can use a little bit higher of a heat. So if you have any questions in regards to our recommended heat patterns, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to provide that information for you. As well as needing to determine your heat for the damage and desired end result, you also need to incorporate how many passes you're going to make on the hair. Now, the maximum recommended passes with the flat iron is going to be approximately 4. So we say 3 to 4 passes for a straighter, smoother end result on overly curly, coarse hair. But for damaged hair or hair that you just want a less frizzy result, you can do 2 to 3 passes. So again, if you have any questions or if you need any help trying to determine how to use your flat iron in the J. Beverly Hills Smooth Realignment System, please feel free to reach out for me and I would be more than happy to provide that information for you, okay? So now you have 2 options, depending on the client. You can do what is referred to as an express smooth realignment system, which has you leave with the client completely flat ironed and clean hair. Or you can do the full smooth realignment system, which requires you to take your client back to the bowl, rinse, condition, and then re-blow dry. This is my favorite way to use the smooth realignment system because when you rinse and condition, you're 100% removing any excess product from the hair and leaving your client feeling amazingly clean. But you're also taking them back to the chair and you're going to do that style for them, which is going to take a dramatic amount less time than their original traditional styling would have done. And it really just allows you to showcase the performance of this smooth realignment system for your client so that they really know what they're getting. So I think that that's the best way to approach this, just so that you can show your client how amazing this is and how much it's changed their life. So as we finish up with our client and we've rinsed and conditioned them and we've taken them back and we've shown them how much time this is going to save them and how much arm workout this is going to save them, it's really important to always follow up with the proper aftercare. So J. Beverly Hills Smooth Realignment System does come with a shampoo and conditioner that is an anti-frizz based product. And these are the ideal aftercare. So aftercare, home care plays a really vital part in ensuring that this treatment is long lasting. So our anti-frizz shampoo is designed with very mild cleansers for all hair types. It's botanically infused with lavender, elderflower, cherry bark, chamomile, comfrey, black walnut, and again, that natural henna. It does have a pH level of a 5.5, so it's designed to leave your cuticle in place and just really incorporate and reinforce all of those active botanicals that contributed to our beautiful, smooth, and shiny end result. Now, after you shampoo your hair with the anti-frizz shampoo, you want to follow up with the J. Beverly Hills Anti-Frizz Conditioner. So the anti-frizz conditioner is infused with those same essential nutrients and weightless moisture in order to make sure that your hair has manageability and smoothness, and it's nice and straight and shiny, as well as being able to be styled in whichever way you'd like it. So the anti-frizz conditioner, like I said, is infused with those same essential nutrients of the lavender, the elderflower, the cherry bark, the chamomile, the comfrey, the black walnut, and the natural henna. And this actually has a pH level of a 4. So this is designed to just seal that cuticle down, lock in that treatment, lock in all those active botanicals, and really make sure that your hair is going to be the most manageable and easy to blow dry as it possibly can be. So that's a really important aspect to create that longevity and just the overall best desired end result. So the next thing that really makes this a hugely powerful, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier, so I'm sure you have questions, is the fact that we can do our J. Beverly Hills Smooth Realignment System in the same day as color. So this is a really amazing tool for us because other smoothing systems make you have a downtime of 4 days, 24 hours, variable different times where you have to wait before you can do anything else to the hair, even wash it. That is not the case with the J. Beverly Hills color line. So when we are using the J. Beverly Hills color line with the J. Beverly Hills Smooth Realignment System, there are a few options here. So because the J. Beverly Hills Smooth Realignment System does open the cuticle with that natural alkalizer of the guar hydroxypropyl-timonium, it is important to know that it will lift your current hair color approximately half a level to a level. So it's really important to know that if you're going to be depositing color or covering any gray, that you actually want to do this service after doing your smooth realignment system. So that way it doesn't interrupt that bonding of that color molecule and it doesn't remove the color you just put into the hair. Now, if you're lifting with color, it's an ideal time is to do this prior to your J. Beverly Hills smoothing system. So that way, any protein molecules that you've removed along with those pigment molecules are going to be dramatically replaced and rebuilt by those active botanicals and that incorporation of the sericin. So if we're depositing, we want to do it after. If we're lifting, we want to do it before. Okay, so now if we're lifting and depositing, make sure that you do any of your highlights, any of your high lift tints, any of your lightener retouches prior to the smoothing system. So you're going to do all of your lifting before you apply your smoothing system. And then you're going to do all of your depositing, whether it be toning, whether it be base breaking or blending, you're going to do that after the smooth realignment system. So you can really book your schedule out to fit all of these services in, as well as taking multiple clients during this whole process and really give your client that full makeover that I'm sure that they've been looking for, as well as making them feel beautiful, making them healthy, making their hair healthy. And just overall, this is an amazing tool to be used in the salon for all of your clients. So if you have any questions regarding the J. Beverly Hills Smooth Realignment System, like I said, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to answer any of those questions for you. And from all of us here at J. Beverly Hills, thanks for watching.